Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wantrepreneur Wednesday. My name is Patricia Chimino. For those of you I don't know, I am a certified life coach and I work with entrepreneurial women to help them take action in their business. And some time ago, I started this interview series where I thought it would be really cool to interview different women entrepreneurs to let them share their story about how they got started, some of the challenges, and just their overall mindset. And it's been a really fun journey. And every week I've had someone different from bricks and mortars to service-based businesses to direct sales. And this week I have someone very special to introduce to you. Her name is Melissa Noto. And Melissa and I met about a year and a half ago. She started coming to my local mastermind group that I had for women entrepreneurs. And coincidentally, we found out that we had a lot of people in common that we knew, like her sister lives near me, and just, you know how that goes, 7 degrees of separation, right? So I want to introduce to you Melissa Noto. Melissa, thank you for coming onto the broadcast.
Thanks for having me, Patricia.
So I just want you to share who you are and what your business is and who you serve, because you have been doing this a long time, and I haven't had a guest on yet that has the type of business you have. So please share that with my audience.
Okay, so yes, my name's Melissa Noto, and my business is Melissa Noto Design Studio, and I'm a graphic designer. I started my business 17 years ago, and just so I could stay home with my kids.
Oh, really?
And it's grown from there. So it was really nice because it's organically grown. I took on as much as I could handle every year and every step that my kids got older. So yeah, 17, going on 18 in
So
March.
you working like in corporate for a within a graphic design department, or tell us the beginning stages of it.
Okay, yes, I went to art school in the city, and from there I had a really cool internship. I really, this woman, I wish I've actually looked her up since, and I can't find her, but she gave me so many opportunities. She took me to food shows. I started out with packaging, photography, food photography. So I traveled with her and just had a really great opportunity. So she had some medical issues, so I didn't stay on there. But I'd get this thing where I'd get a job in the city, and then I like the city vibe, and then all of a sudden I was like, I don't want to sit in traffic anymore. And so I'd get a suburban job, and then I'd be in the suburbs going, this is so boring, I need another city job. So honestly, I think if I really looked at it, every other one was either downtown or in the suburbs. And within that, I was just trying to see like what's out there. So my city jobs a lot would be big marketing firms. So I'd get different clients thrown at me all the time, which, at the time I wasn't sure. Do I like this? Do I not like this? And then I would get a job like at a lighting company in the north of, I'm in Bolingbrook. I'd be north of here, and and I would just do one thing for that lighting company. I'd have the same PMS color. I'd have the same pictures, and then I'd go, oh, I need the variety. So that's when I'd go back to the city and get a job. So I kind of jumped around a lot, and then
That was
17,
kind of good grounding into going into your own thing, though. Like not being in
yeah.
one place. That was kind of good the way that
Yeah,
that
I
happened.
like the variety sometimes, and then other times it was just easy. I mean, talk about branding, when you work for just one place that has one certain colors they work with and certain photos and things like that, that's when you really, follow the branding. When you jump in and out of jobs, you got to learn the branding for each, corporate client. And then so I liked either way. I wasn't sure what I liked, so I would switch it up every time. And then, like I said, I swear it was like, let's do it in the city, let's go in the suburbs. So I ended up in North Lake, and I loved my last job. It was for a packaging company, so I did a lot of private label packaging. So all the stuff
What
you see.
exactly does that mean? Like we hear that term a lot, and for people who are not into the design world, what exactly does that mean? Like, do you actually design like the package of what something looks like on the outside? Do you write the copy? Like, what does the design element mean for package design?
So when you're so everywhere you go, especially like Costco, Walmart, Kmart, Target, so all of those big giant, mostly at Christmas, baskets you see, if they would just go in there and put like Ghirardelli chocolate and um Tazo tea or something like that packaging isn't going to look good together. So in order to get the entire thing to have the same burgundy and gold colors or things like that, um they have places all over that they send them samples of their tea and they let them private label package. So it could be Ghirardelli chocolate. I don't know if I can't remember if they was one of them, but and they're like, oh, we really like your chocolate. We want it inside this package, but we need to make it work with the rest of the stuff in the basket. So then we'd get the rights to go ahead and make new packaging outside, but then we'd have to put all their ingredients and whatever. And it would just make this entire basket be more presentable and people would want to buy it or mostly give it as a gift because it just everything went together, all the colors went together. So I mean, I worked the gamut there. I was the only graphic designer at the time. That's where I learned how to hustle because
Oh, we have a
I
question here. Someone said, what was the company? Surefine? Was that the company you said?
no, it was called Design Pack.
Design Pack. Okay.
So
So
it's
then you branched off and you started to do your own thing. And so were you still doing like graphic packaging design when you were doing your own thing? Or were you, what were the projects that you were doing when you started on your own?
So then, yeah, so I was pregnant and I wanted to be home with my kids. And I was like, how can I make this happen? We were also moving in a house at the time. So my husband just said, while you're on maternity leave, if you can find, and I had done some freelance stuff on the side. It wasn't that I couldn't find clients on the side. It was just like, can you find clients that are going to give you that paycheck? So I moved into our house and it was meant to be. It was on my front door. It said, come to the Bolingbrook Park District and do this class. And I'm like, why would anybody want to do this class? There's no photos. There's no, like, it was just not attractive at all. And everything in my world, I like it to be designed and colorful and attractive. So I was like, why? So I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to call there. So I called and I said, I am a graphic designer. I'd like to start my own business. I just moved in the neighborhood. Can I talk? So I went and talked to the marketing director and got that job and had that job for 10 years. And they have, if you don't know the Bolingbrook Park District, they have two different facilities. They have a golf course. They've got a restaurant. They've got a pool, like all this stuff. So I not only did for the park district, but I did all the advertising for all of those entities. So it was a pretty cool job to land in the beginning. And I mean, I became really, really close with the marketing director because I would bring my kids in my carrier, and stick a bottle in their mouth and be like, okay,
But
what's my job?
it was your business, but it was your business, right?
Yes, yes. And then, yeah, I was welcome
They
to
were
bring
your
them.
client.
Yeah, they were my client. So that's how I started out. And then, she would recommend people to me. And then it just organically grew. It's okay, now then I had a second child. But I used to work late nights. I don't even know. I can't make it past 10 now, but just called old age, I guess. But I used to work at till like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And then my drive was to get that work done so I could have the whole day to take care of my kids.
Oh, wow.
So, it was hard with one, and then with two, it was, and sometimes I would only take on that client if somebody came and I just, I wouldn't take it. And then as they got in school, oh, I could take on more. Oh, as they got older, I could take on more. And now here we are, 17 and 14, and they don't really need as much anymore.
And
So
it's
I could take
18
on
years
what.
later for you. You've been in business 18 years, right?
Yeah, so my oldest, it's easy to track because it's as old as my oldest, and he will be in March he will be 18. So,
Wow.
yeah, so I started at 18 years ago, and
And
it's changed like dramatically.
the industry?
Yeah, just I mean I didn't have I wasn't in the beginning. I wasn't able to do stuff over the internet. And so I would take everything on disc and I'd have to go to the printer and I have to go to like FedEx and get stuff out there. It was dinosaur age.
It's become super easy for
Oh,
you.
it's so easy. I don't have to leave my computer. Half of my clients I don't meet. My farthest client was Australia, and I work with people all over. A lot of clients in Florida, for some reason. I don't
So are
know.
you still doing then package design? Or are you doing logos and branding and all that other stuff design?
I mostly do. It's harder to get a packaging client because you're gonna have to do, which I would love to get back into. Um, it's more of like the big food companies and stuff, and a lot of times they have their internal um, design team or whatever. So yeah, mine's all logos, letterhead, business cards, brochures, flyers, different type of mailers, anything you can think of. I've done magnets, I've done Christmas ornaments, I've done
So
so
who
anything you could put
would you
graphic
say is your ideal client, like right now? Who would you say is your ideal client?
on. Right now, a good fit for me is like I have a client that just needs a lot of marketing pieces and they need somebody to keep it consistent. So, and I do onesie twosies for all kinds of people. Can you do my logo? But I have other people that I want to do this, or can you do a logo and a brochure? And like, people pop in and out of my life. I actually just got a new one yesterday and I'm like, oh, I didn't know, she's been gone a while. So it's really nice because you get to rekindle relationships. And that's one of my really cool clients right now is that they were going through a lot of change a couple years ago, and I was a little frustrated because I wanted to do more for them, but they didn't have their internal answers together, and they didn't know what to feed me. So I was a little bummed that they weren't going to use me anymore. And here it is, I'd say like 5 years later, and they called me up and said, all right, we got our stuff down, like let's work together again.
That's
So
awesome.
super cool. They have all kinds of they have incentives for their clients and stuff, so they do trips and things. So they so that's fun. I do stuff for that, and then I do like just all their internal brochures and things like that. So
Cool. So tell me, what's been the biggest challenge for you, like hopping over the fence onto the entrepreneur side versus working for corporate? I know corporate was a long, long time ago, but what has been the biggest challenge building your business, I guess, is what I'm asking.
I can do design all day long. It's the background stuff. Some of my clients will laugh. They're like, "Didn't I do this like job like 3 months ago?" I'm much better now, but I the billing, the all that stuff is just not in my wheelhouse. But I have it's actually really funny. Like in the beginning, the way I did my billing system was like in one of my design programs. So there was no way to like type in a client's name and it would come up. So I'd have to scroll through all these things to find their invoice. It was terrible. So now I do work under like an internet, like a app and stuff, and it's so much easier. You plug in the information for a quote, and then once they're done with the job, you hit it, and so that part has become very nice for me because I hate doing that stuff.
So what would you if you what advice would you give to another entrepreneur, a woman who wants to start her own thing? What would you say to her? And we're getting some comments here. Sue Mosier Scott says Melissa
My
is one of
friend.
the most creative people I know. Yay!
Hi, Sue.
And then Jerry Ann says 5 years. Wow. So tell me, what would you tell another woman who is considering starting her own thing?
I would say do it. I would not although my drive was my kids. I was just like I just want to stay home, and so I knew that the harder I work, the more I could stay home. And
Yeah.
so that was kind of always my thing. And so I never really thought like it would go this long, or I just I would just say try it, do it. If you have a talent or you are good at what you do. I mean, in the world is becoming more and more like that. So I mean, I did it when there wasn't a lot going on like that, and now it's like everybody's doing that. So I mean, jump. I mean, I would tell you to go for it. I'd be your biggest supporter.
So tell the audience what the best mistake you've ever made was.
um Taking a leap and doing this. It's my biggest mistake. I mean, I
You
didn't
left a
right,
secure job.
I did yeah, I left a job. I mean, I could always go back and get a job, but I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even have half of the resources that I have now. I just started doing design, and it
Awesome.
worked, getting clients and making the clients happy, and it was just like this progressive way
Snowball.
building a business. Yeah, it was great.
That's awesome. Melissa, tell the audience where they can find you both online and offline.
The best way to reach me is by email. So it's Melissa Noto Design Studio at Comcast.net.
We'll put
Um,
we'll put it in the link below.
Okay. And or just you can give me a call. My information's on there as well. I like to just anytime, even if I like to work with clients too that you have a logo, have some stuff going, but you're just not sure what to do with it after that. Because sometimes you're just at a stopping point. Like we can work with you to add colors to your palette that match maybe your corporate colors. We can add pieces like now with social media. You know, you need little things to backgrounds and borders and things like that. And there's a way to make little packages and stuff, so it's just easy for you to advertise your business, especially on social media.
Awesome. And your website is Melissa Noto Design Studios?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
Thanks
coming
for
on and sharing your journey. It was fun to hear it. I didn't know your background, so it was really great to hear. I mean, you have like a plethora of experience. It's just so cool to watch how you've grown over the years. You didn't just stop and say, oh, this is not for me. You know, it sounds like you just kept battling through each thing and you grew your business and got it to a really nice place that it is today. So
Yes.
very cool. Very cool. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks
Until
for having.
you're welcome. Until next week, we will see you all again. Thanks for joining on. If you're watching it in replay, write replay below. Drop any questions that you might have for Melissa, and we'll put her thread in the her info in the thread down below if you wanted to check out her work and if you need anything done. She's your gal. See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Melissa.
Thanks. Well, I see you tonight. Are
Good
you
night.
going to